ready to set up the Tri-Trades booth for the bricklayers and union. Marty is gonna do the brickwork and the stonework on the back, and we're gonna have our little table set up in here for instructing the students. He'll be the one showing, well, one of the guys that are showing the students how to lay brick, get them involved in the trade, to give them an idea of what we're doing in our trade.
This looks good.
Yeah, well, so once we get like the angle irons on the ground, whatever, once we get the brick on the archway up in the back, and then the table set up, then our booth is ready.
Nice.
So that's just the beginning.
We're so lucky to have people that, you know, it's a passion in it, right? There's people that have more passion than others. Not only that, it's the mannerisms, right?
But the way he instructed on the job, when he's on the job helping people, is different than other people. Most people come in very aggravated and almost insulted that they have to use your time. He actually went in and he would say to somebody, you know, try this. Instead of being arrogant and ignorant, he just went in straight ahead and said, try it this way, see if you like it better, because it's just a better way to do it.
Marty has a special way about him, that's for sure.
Yeah, I told him, you know, you're gonna have, every bricklayer is gonna tell you a different way, pick what you like.
Yep.
You know, that's what I did, I took advice from every bricklayer that gave me advice, the ones that did, which wasn't that many, but I picked what I liked, what worked for me.
I gotta ask, is there anybody in particular that you remember?
My dad.
Oh, I love it. Nice.
My dad.
Your dad was a
My
bricklayer
dad,
too,
my
huh?
uncle.
Your uncle was a bricklayer
Yeah,
too?
my dad.
So good.
Well, they give you the first instruction, right?
I started with them on the commercial for first 4 years, and then we moved to Poland, and it was just me and my dad on residential. So I got another training period. It was about 6 months before I was comfortable I could build a real fireplace.
Wow.
He was
6 months it took you to get ready.
Well, I knew already, you know, I could lay the bricks and do whatever, but the knowledge of doing this,
how it works,
firebox, the smoke chambers, where you put your damper, how the difference of height from where your damper to your opening, because if you do have it too high, it smokes. So we always had that much room above the opening, so that
no smoke would come back out of the box. Yeah.
And you know, you gotta run the basement one over at a certain angle, and you know, so
see,
by the time I was done, you know, 6 months, he would come and say, okay, Dale, how do you want to do this one? And I would say, okay, we'll do it this way.
So every chimney was built differently?
Yeah, well, no, there were different ways of doing it depending on what was upstairs, what was downstairs.
So cool.
But there were so many different ways of doing it, because I would say, okay, we'll do it this way. He said, no, we'll do it this way. And he did that
smart.
3 or 4 times. And I guess one day I was in a bad mood or whatever, and I said to him, we'll do whatever which way you want, because you're not going to listen to me anyway. And then he didn't talk to me for 2 weeks, and we worked together and drove together. He was just silent. He never said boo.
Well, because I mean, it's like you're learning from the master, and you spoke back because you were in a bad mood. He's trying to teach you.
Wow.
So I mean, that's way of teaching you is you don't like what I have to say, then I got nothing to say to you.
Yeah.
And that's a stubborn old way of teaching in the day.
And when
right?
we worked, we mixed by hand, so he would make one mix, I would make one mix. We would labor together to get the job set up. One time I would do the firebox and the inside, and he would do the out, and the next job he would do the inside, I would do the outside.
That's a good way to learn.
That in itself, the fireplace is an art.
Yeah.
That is an art.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they are an artistic piece of a home. They were designed to be that. And
The last
It's the
functionality.
viewpoint, and when you walk in, it's what catches your
Everybody,
eye.
yeah.
Well,
That's
it's
it.
the firebox, like fireplace bricks, and the last one I did was in '85 for More West Construction.
1985.
In this guy's house.
Wow.
He had the ventilator in the family room, and the living room. He wanted the real brick. So
Wow.
we used to cut the slate with the saw. Like you leave your angle irons out, then you build a form, and then you pour your concrete for your hearth.
I gotta ask a question. I've heard stories. You remember Bernie?
Yeah.
From Hyman, Old Man Hyman?
Yeah.
He told me that at the beginning they take his level and whack him on the head.
Okay.
Is this true?
Well, probably because he needed a whack.
Dude, these things were happening, right? Like I could not believe that.
Oh yeah.
Like, you know, it's not our time to see that.
No, in the
nowadays.
days of old, it was completely different.
I'll tell you a story. We did the trophy room in the old arena.
Yeah.
And the day before I went with a helper, we loaded a whole truckload of blocks through a window.
Oh.
He would put it on the hoist, bring it up the hoist, pass it through the window.
That's the way
Then
it was.
then I would spread them out while he's loading up again. I'd pound out here, then move them again. The next day, and it was at one end. I had to go all the way the length of this,
Yep.
the arena with 12 blocks on the wheelbarrow.
Oh, 12 blocks?
All day.
All day long.
Oh, how old were you?
I was 16.
Okay, you were still
17.
young yet. Oh my
And then,
God.
Oh, yeah.
that one day I was coming, that day I was coming, it was 25 after 4, the bricklayers were coming towards me, the laborers, my dad with the blueprint under his arms, and I swear I could scratch my
And
hand.
they all had their hand out to you.
And the wheelbarrow was scraping on the floor because
Yeah,
I couldn't
'cause
hold it
you're
up.
too
Poor
tired.
guy. Oh.
My dad's walking by me, he says, in German, you better move it, the grass is growing behind you.
Yeah, after doing this all
And I
day.
turned around.
He said, what, the
hilarious.
grass is growing behind
That's
you?
how slow I was going. I turned around to look, he kicked me in the ass and he said, hurry up.
Oh my goodness.
I can remember.
You know
doing-
what, but what a story. What a story.
I can remember
Like,
doing
my
jobs
goodness.
5-6 scaffolds high,
Yeah.
no forklift.
Oh,
So you, the pallet of block,
Yeah.
laid there, so you
Uh,
pass one up to the other guy, another
Next
guy,
guy,
another guy,
next
another
guy,
guy,
next
and
guy.
then you load the first one, then you come down with the next one, the next one, the next one, the next one.
Yeah, we did that all the time.
All day.
so physical. What a groove. Like,
All the
it's a
time.
physical job. This
I
job
was-
is very, very
Absolutely.
I
physical.
was bored out in 72 to a company called Baker Masonry at that time. The guy never had one power tool. We were
Every
doing
man.
school on Jefferson squirt blocks, we were cutting the blocks by hammer. The guy was mixing mud, well, they would bring the pre-mixed sand and lime, and with it like a concrete truck.
Yeah.
He would fill the troughs.
Yeah.
He would fill it in, then throw the cement in, and pass it off to the guys. No saw, no forklift.
Okay, I did the same. I used to slack the line.
Oh, that's it.
Before-
I've never had the slack line.
I had
before.
to slack, I get the processed lime, I'd stick it in water, you start slacking it and it starts to bubble and you get more water because it dries out and you have to slack it till and you'll leave it sit for 2-3 days till it was like a
A
pudding,
paste.
like a
Well,
pudding.
In the wintertime, we
Yeah.
used it hot.
Hot, you have to keep the
With
mortar
fire
freezing.
pails.
You used the what?
Use
The
it
lime
hot.
was hot.
Yeah.
Keep the
We
mortar
mix the
freezing.
mortar, keep the mortar a little bit warmer.
Yeah.
Fire pail
Underneath the
was
sink.
beside, not underneath.
Yeah.
but before.
We had the
Just
fire.
keep it close
we-
by.
We had
A
the
fire.
fire pails.
Laying bricks.
With Willie Kurtz, we had
Wow.
the fire pails right underneath the mortar board.
Yeah.
I kept the board warm in minus 15, 20 outside, you're laying outside, nothing
Just to
to
keep
bother
the
you.
board
Kept the board warm, not you, and the material, you lay the mud, it would stay warm enough to
Lay
joint,
one
and then you
joint.
move on.
Hey, you know what? Thank God we have unions now. That we're better. You know
Well,
what?
we had
we're-
unions then too, but that's the way they did it.
Well, you know, there was a lot of guys. Maybe there's something to be said about having too many
Yeah,
guys at
that's
one
just-
point. That's hard to manage.
Well,
that's
the
not
jobs,
right.
the jobs when I started, they required 20 bricklayers per
Yeah.
job, you know, 10.
I heard
10,
about
12
those
helpers.
days.
because it was all brick and block.
Yeah, they were saying 500. We had 500 bricklayers back in
700.
the day.
750 when I started.
750.
Holy smoke! They were building all those apartment blocks up
That's right.
on Henderson Highway at that time, right?
Yep.
I was 72.
1972.
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad came in '73 over to
I came
Canada.
out of school, and my boss that I signed up with, he moved to Kelowna, so I came out of school, I could go anywhere now. So I remember going down Henderson where Peg was his, it was a dirt road that was leading into those apartments, I thought. So I,
Oh, wrong road.
went off the road.
Yeah, took
and
the
as I'm
wrong
going
road.
through, there's a little 3-story walk-up Timberstone job.
3-story
They
timber.
had the building up, now they were doing the veneer.
Yeah.
And, I walked up to the thing, it was Werner Timmerman was the foreman there.
Oh, yeah.
And, I forget who that was for, I think it was for, what the hell was that company called now? They didn't last long. The strike, I was working for them with the strike, doing the strike, before the strike, and then after the strike, I went to Maiden Enterprises, cause they signed.
I don't know what the company was, it was a small company.
I forget what the.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Just started with E.
no, can't, my brain's not.
You
Yeah.
didn't start off with a unionized company. You
Yeah,
started.
no,
You always.
I did, I
You've
signed-
always been
Signed right away.
so good.
Signed right away.
Yeah, same.
Now you had you did mention about
I was.
Strikes.
I turned 20 and I got my ticket.
20 years old. That's what you got your ticket at 20.
Yeah, 20, I wasn't even 20 yet.
So you started when? 16. You started with your dad.
Yeah. 69 and 73 I got my ticket.
69, 73. You got the ticket. Wow, Marty, what a
Did
career.
my provincial, interprovincial.
Yeah, you know,
Class.
you really strike me, like I've known you for years, and you are he's a special type of character. You always are. You're willing to share your information and knowledge.
And I'm willing to give shit to.
You know how to give shit in the right way. Okay, you speak. You don't speak down to the people. You speak as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
You are a fantastic person to be able to have worked with. You know, we were talking about people that we've learned from along the years.